Hey everyone, it's Jack and Adam from Cultaholic. Adam, how's your afternoon going?
My voice is almost gone already. I've done about 40 voiceovers today, but I'm grand. How are you, Jack?
I'm all good. I've been doing some writing. I don't know if my feature's up on the site yet, but I'm very excited. On cultaholic.com.
Check it out.
Yeah, do check it out.
If it's up, if not, just click about.
Wait a bit.
Yeah,
still within our
horses.
website on the other articles.
And make it homepage as well.
Yeah.
Turn your ad blocker off, and on this video as well. Times are tight.
I'll read the headlines out, and then we can talk about the actual wrestling and stuff.
Sounds alright.
First of all, a SmackDown superstar has been ordered to delete his Instagram comments. We also take a look at the backstage reaction to the Riddle botch on this week's Raw. And finally, Andrade was apparently offered an NXT return. So, first of all, a SmackDown superstar has indeed been ordered to delete some Instagram comments, and it's none other than Murphy, who, of course, used to be involved in that storyline with Rollins and the Mysterios and everything. And then we weren't sure what happened to the story, really. It kind of got dropped. He turned face, but then he showed up again a little while later, aligning once again with Rollins, and now he's off the scene again. He posted to Instagram a bit of a storyline update. What kind of things did he say? Because it gave us a bit of a clue there, didn't it, as to what might have happened.
Replying to one of WWE's posts regarding the storyline, he said, "Let's point out the obvious. The Mysterios used me. I never needed them. I'm beyond one of the most talented in-ring performers on the planet. Aaliyah used me to be on TV and advance an acting career. Dominic used me, so he had a reason to stand ringside. Ray was jealous that I became the new face of the Cruiserweight division, and he was left out of the discussion. They took what they wanted, then they left me in the shadows. Sounds like my time in NXT, but apparently he's got himself in the doghouse doing this because he's worked himself into a shoot. No, that's not what that means. They used to do it all the time at WCPW. Do you remember? They try and get themselves booked in angles.
Yeah, they
outrageous.
They do it a lot of the time.
I feel for you, Vince. I've been there.
I feel like people, it's often very common amongst old timers like Goldberg. If you mention anyone to him, who's a dream match that you never wrestled? And he just mentions whoever the current top guys are. He's like, I really want to wrestle Roman Reigns, actually. Oh yeah, do you, Bill?
Hi, Vince, get your checkbook. Yeah. So Dave Meltzer commenting on Wrestling Observer Radio saying, I guess he decided to come up with a reason to end the angle and turn heel, and they didn't want him shooting his own angle on Instagram. Fair play.
I mean, yeah. Often, I do have sympathy for Murphy because he's very talented and the storyline went nowhere, which has got to be very frustrating to just have it dropped for no reason and no resolution. But at the same time, they probably weren't too keen on him either aiming to turn himself heel, but it sounds like he's got a bit of a point. So maybe they were like, it sounds like he's turning the Mysterios heel on his own, and they might have wanted to put a stop to that.
Yeah, it sounds a reasonable thing to say. They just want their superstars to tweet. When they do it in character, just toe the company line and just, I'm going to beat you at #WrestleMania. And just that's it. That's all they really want, isn't it? They don't want them doing their own thing. That's fair enough. I want to see him at WrestleMania.
Me too. Probably not, no. But you never know. Maybe if the Battle Royals are back, the Andrade, you could see him in the Battle Royal. It's not the same, is it, I suppose?
No, it's not really a match.
On this week's Raw, there was a botch backstage featuring someone who is going to be on this year's WrestleMania, the current United States champion, Riddle, who, well, I saw mixed reviews at first. Some people were saying, no, it was too perfect to be a botch, and some people were saying, no, it was a botch.
The way he wheeled his scooter away just out of frame was so funny. I loved it, but apparently... not a botch. Not a botch. Ringside News, have reported this, and it's been backed up by Wrestle Talk as well, is that this botch actually went to plan. And this is what they have no idea what to do with Riddle, do they? Literally no idea. He's just the most random, annoying person in all of his promos. At least he's got birds now.
Birds?
Birds. You're not seeing the flip-flop thing. He throws the flip-flops off, all the sparklers go off, and then birds.
Oh, yeah, right.
Fly at the camera. It's great stuff. But apparently this is legit. And so that sort of poses the question, are we going to see more of it on WWE TV? Is Riddle going to turn into even more of a buffoon and botch all of his backstage promos and segments?
Maybe. So the news here is they're saying that it was it wasn't a botch and it was real. It was meant to go. It was meant to go how it was meant to go.
Yeah, and he popped up on Raw Talk afterwards, where he and MVP sort of poked fun at what happened earlier in the night, and WWE promoted that, something that arguably they wouldn't have done if Riddle hadn't followed the script on TV.
Yeah, they would. The wrestlers go on Raw Talk and they say whatever they want on Raw Talk within reason. Yeah, no, I don't think that confirms it or denies it one way or the other.
But apparently it was meant to happen, so expect to see more kookiness from Riddle very soon.
This is what they think's likable. This is what they think's good. They think this is good.
He's so easy to book as well, isn't he? Just be the cool, laid-back stoner. Do all the weed references, whatever. That's fine. And then have him beat up people in the ring because he's really, really hard. Instead, they make him all sort of silly. I don't want to see a silly.
Silly is the word. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Adam, breaking news yet again in the middle of one of our news videos.
It always happens.
Yes, there has been a tweet.
Just receiving word. Just in your ear.
Yep. Cheers, Owen. Thank you, mate. Basically, there's been a tweet from Trish Stratus, which could potentially hint at an upcoming... Well, it'll hint at something. I'll just read what the tweet says and see if you can guess what this is a bit of an allusion to. So Trish Stratus has said, catch me on the bump this morning starting at 10 a.m. Eastern on Peacock or the WWE Network. We're dropping a little news bomb. Here's a hint. 2 words. Mickey James, WrestleMania.
That's 3 words.
Well, yes, that is 3 words. Although, 2 words at the Mickey James, all one handle, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, she should have put one handle, 1 word, or one day. That's ruined it for me. She's going in the Hall of Fame, isn't she? I would assume that Trish is going to be the one to induct her. Makes sense?
It does make perfect sense, and I imagine that's what's happening, because as we've seen so far this year, Hall of Fame inductees have been... some of them have been surprised, some of them have been... I mean, this one doesn't seem like much of a surprise if that's what it is. Where they've had someone relevant from their past who's broken the news to them. Like the Hurricane did it for Molly Holly, for example. Undertaker obviously did it for Kane. So this does very much seem like Mickey James is going in the Hall of Fame. And if that does seem to be the case, I mean, she's one of the ones you can't argue with, surely.
Oh, for sure. But does this mean that she's done in WWE? I mean, they did that Nostalgia Raw show, and she was presented as like a WWE legend, rather than like she's, as far as I'm concerned, she's an active member of the roster still. They just never use her.
Yeah, she's been one of those strange cases, like with Alicia Fox, where it's unclear whether or not they've retired. But now it seems like maybe if this is the case, then she will.
She can still go, though. I want to see more of her. She's great.
Wasn't it Sting who retired at his Hall of Fame induction? So you can be inducted while you're still technically active, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, good for her. Nah, that's cool.
If it's true, if that's what it is. Unless it's just Trish calling out Mickey for WrestleMania. She gets on the bump and she goes, Mickey, I've got to say this. Congratulations, you're facing me on the Showcase of the Immortals. We're doing it. Also somebody who I would have earmarked potentially as a future WWE Hall of Famer who is now out of the company is, of course, Andrade, who's been saying a lot of things over the past few days, basically giving an insight into his reasons behind leaving the company and everything. He recently did a media conference call where he was talking about NXT. Not so much his run in NXT, but an offer that was later made once he'd been moved to the main roster to return to NXT. He said, I never proposed going back to NXT. They proposed it to me. But when they noticed that I'm quitting, they asked me if I wanted to spend a year in NXT, then go back to the main roster. And I told them I wanted to make it on the main roster. I don't think being in NXT is a lesser thing. I would just rather be out of the company than in NXT, because at least out there, I can make more noise. I don't have anything against NXT or the wrestlers there, but I didn't want to take a step back.
To me, that just hammers home the point. The fact that they said go down there for a year, that probably means they got no creative for him, probably for about a year. So it's fair as well, because like Andrade, why would he want to go back to NXT? Because he really sort of achieved everything there is to achieve in NXT.
Yeah.
There are other people that need the NXT title more than him, and maybe he could go sort of mid-card NXT, but he's done it all.
Yeah, you could argue that some people maybe just stay in NXT out of choice because they're happier there or they feel more creatively fulfilled there. People like Ciampa and Gargano, Breezango obviously are back down there. And while they're not fighting for titles, these sort of wrestlers are more kind of helping the newer NXT talent get over, I suppose. They are still very much a part of the product, so I do understand, but at the same time I agree with you. If Andrade went back down to NXT, you know that he's not going to be making as much of a splash as he would if they just gave him a chance on the main roster, or, as he says here, if he perhaps went elsewhere. It's a very brave decision. Did you hear that he walked away from quite a serious amount of money as well?
Oh, good for him. That's really admirable, isn't it? It's cool when they do that. Well, hopefully he gets paid lots wherever he does end up.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's easily talented enough to make a success of himself. So I hope it does work out, and we'll see how it goes. Elsewhere, another former WWE superstar, Chris Adonis, formerly known, of course, as Chris Masters, aka one half of your favorite tag team ever, the Masters of Cool.
It's me doing the pecs there.
Just wobbling your shoulder. Yeah. He's won the NWA National Championship in the main event of NWA Power last night against Trevor Murdoch. Trevor Murdoch still going in the NWA.
Yeah, that's a Raw match from like 12 or 13 years ago there, isn't it? That's a weird one. But no, good for him. Like, Masters is looking great. I mean, he's always looked great, but he's still looking great, and Trevor Murdoch can still do his thing. So yeah, congratulations to him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, in some very positive news as well, we have an update on Road Dogg's condition following that heart attack scare, or suspected heart attack scare. He's written about getting out of hospital and says, "To God be the glory, I live to tell the story. I'm headed home. I've got some work to do and some changes to make, but I'm up to the task. I want to thank each and every one of you for your thoughts and prayers and your kind words. So many reached out with positive vibes, and it overwhelmed me with love. Let the journey begin," he says. So, I mean, you know... It's just great.
What do you say about that? Yeah, good to hear. Hopefully, hopefully he just continues to recover. Obviously, it's going to be a relatively long road to recovery, as all of these things are when it's something so severe. But it's good to hear that he's out of hospital. It's obviously a step in the right direction.
That one really shocked me, because often when wrestlers have health, not all the time, but often when wrestlers have health scares, they're often of like an earlier generation. Whereas Road Dogg was very much on the scene when I was growing up and starting to watch wrestling, and I was like, wow, it's just very horrible news. But it's great to see that he's all right and that he's going to be setting off on this road to recovery. Also, a former NXT superstar is going to be making their Impact debut soon, according to Fightful Select, who've reported that Rachel Ellering worked the most recent set of Impact tapings, but they didn't mention what her role was at the show.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I think she's really, really talented. Obviously, she didn't make that much of an impact in NXT, but I'd be interested to see what she can do there, and bring back Paul as well. I don't want to just go, I'll bring back her dad, but Paul had a rough time of it at the end of his WWE run, so make him her manager.
Yeah, he was a great manager. I mean,
class, wasn't he?
Not just in his heyday, but with the AOP as well. They were a really good unit, and I don't know what happened to the AOP. They had injury problems and stuff, but you'd think you'd keep them around and give them another chance. I don't know.
A couple of massive, really young as well, aren't they? Like 24, 25
surprisingly
or something.
Young for their...
Makes me livid.
For how intimidating they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why are we not like that, Adam? Why are we not so
speak
massive
for yourself.
Speak for
yourself. But Rachel Ellering, very, very talented too. It'll be interesting to see what she's doing in Impact. I'm sure she'll make an impact there.
Oh, there we go. Thank you very much for watching this news video, everybody. Adam, have you got any exciting news in store for the Cultaholic viewers?
No, it's just WrestleMania. There's loads of WrestleMania content coming, including our biggest ever ranked, which should, if all goes to plan, and the YouTube gods are smiling down on us, should go live on Sunday evening. It's been a year in the making. It's huge. It's almost 6 hours long.
It's an insane one, and I feel fortunate that I was not part of the main writing or editing process. I just helped check it over towards the end. But a big shout out to our writers and editors who worked on that. No spoilers as to what it is, but
it's a big boy.
It's a big one. Yes, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below, and stay safe out there. Keep yourselves positive. And I'll see you very soon.
Twitch, 6 p.m. You can see Jack and Owen. He's on the call as well.
God,
he said Jack's here.
We're doing Football Manager at 6 p.m. tonight on Twitch. Check us out. Bye.